Alright. Anyways, guys, wow, that's fucking bad. How's it going, everybody? The Scarlet Rot here. So, I'm definitely a little late when it comes to even covering this particular video. After all, a lot of the, gaming showcase stuff happened, probably, a month and a half ago at this point. And this video that we're taking a look at is at least, a month old by now. But you know what? I genuinely couldn't give less of a fuck because, I mean, it's Synthetic Man, and any opportunity to dunk on someone as stupid as Synthetic Man is, well, a time-honored tradition here on the channel. And of course, Synthetic Man's video, more specifically his segment covering the Xbox showcase, was probably some of the worst. It is probably the most egregious out of all of it, and it is unbelievable how a lot of it even remains on YouTube. So we're mainly going to be covering his section on the Xbox showcase. The rest of it I don't care enough about to really get into. Besides, the video's like 43 minutes long. Do you really expect me to go through all that shit? Hell no. So, without further... Yep, we are joined by none other than Riot, who, as of recording this, recently uploaded a video about the Scythe situation themselves, so go ahead and check that one out. But anyways, without further ado, let us sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and let's just dive right in.
Well, gaming is officially dead. I don't think I need to title any more videos. Gaming is dying. We have finally reached the final stage of life of the gaming industry.
$10 says that within the next couple months, whenever there's maybe like a Steam game showcase, he's probably going to say the exact same thing. Because all of these kinds of people usually say, oh my god, gaming is dying, it's fallen off, it's collapsing in like a fucking star going supernova every goddamn 5 months, like a goddamn end times prophet. And much like an end times prophet, their accuracy is always 0%.
I haven't really ever heard of Synthetic Man other than your videos on him. So I don't really know much.
The best way I can describe him is that he's basically the pinnacle of the go woke, go broke crowd.
Ew.
Yeah, and you're going to see that in full force here with the section we're going over. Trust me.
Yay.
Trust me. You're probably going in with low expectations. You're going to be coming out of this with a level of disappointment the likes of which you will probably have never felt.
And yes, I know it's not technically E3, but we got a bunch of presentations from all the major publishers except Nintendo, so it might as well be E3, right? Honestly, that was just beyond horrible. It felt like a colossal waste of time, right? Just like E3 2021.
Hold on. So he's saying that the games that are showing on screen are shit?
I mean, some of the games that I've at least seen look pretty decent. I mean,
They all look good.
They really
all
do.
Look good, and I'd want to watch a video on them to
what,
I might not
one
play
thing
it myself, but what
like
the
one
fuck
thing
do you mean? Sorry.
One thing I will say is probably one of the main games I'm excited for is Starfield, but considering that's a Bethesda game, I'm still gonna wait a week or two after launch before I even consider spending any money on it, because I mean, come on. How can we forget about Fallout fucking 76, okay?
I like
ever
Fallout
since then,
76.
Fallout 76... Well, here's the thing. Fallout 76 on launch and for a couple months after its launch was it almost convinced me that Bungie almost had a hand in it with how fucking scummy the monetization was.
Despite the PlayStation Showcase not being good by any metric, I think almost all of the shows we saw here were actually significantly worse.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to cut him off right here. How are you able to say that the other showcases were worse than the PlayStation Showcase? Keep in mind, in the PlayStation Showcase, I shit you not, they put a movie trailer in the fucking PlayStation Showcase because they had barely anything to show. A fucking movie trailer for a video game showcase.
At least there was 3 games that looked fairly interesting at the PlayStation Showcase. I don't think a single other show had that many. So if you watch the PlayStation Showcase video, you know how the rules work here. We're gonna bring back the woke counter.
Can you please run that shit by me again?
The woke counter again.
The woke counter. Okay, you know what? Just for the occasion, we're bringing back the idiocy counter. Jeeves, put it up on the fucking screen, okay? And immediately add in, like, 3 points right there. 1 point for him thinking that the PlayStation Showcase was the best out of all the showcases this year, and 2 points for thinking that a woke counter is going to go well. And I'm gonna make my bets right here. The woke counter is only going to go up, like, his fucking counter is only going to go up whenever a minority appears on screen for more than 5 seconds.
Alright. Are we placing bets on that?
Yeah, I'm placing my bet right now.
Alright, I think that the first one is going to be a character of color. That's my bet.
Alright.
So let's start off with the Xbox Showcase. Even though it wasn't the first, it was clearly the one that the most people were excited to see, given that Microsoft hasn't released any good exclusive games.
That game
Okay, I'm already gonna have to stop him right there. Did he fucking forget that Hi-Fi Rush existed at the beginning of this year and basically single-handedly carried Microsoft for the first couple months of this fucking year?
That, and also, is he looking at the same, like, gameplay that we are? Because this looks incredible.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. But I mean, like, he's claiming that Xbox hasn't released shit this entire year. Again, Hi-Fi Rush. Literally a game released the day of announcement. The day that they announced it on, like, whatever fucking showcase that Xbox was, like, doing at the beginning of this year, the day that it was announced, that night, Hi-Fi Rush was released on fucking, Xbox Live. And people fucking loved it. And that's just, like, you know, the original game. Like, that was a completely original game. I'm not even counting, like, the fucking decent remakes that were released for Xbox, throughout the beginning of this year. Oh, right, idiocy counter. Add a point to the idiocy counter, because apparently this idiot has short-term fucking dementia and apparently forgot that Hi-Fi Rush single-handedly carried Microsoft throughout the first 4 months of this year.
4 idiocy counters, and how far into the video are we?
1 minute 35.
Ah, alright. So...
He has 4 points on the idiocy counter already.
Alright.
Damn.
Spectacular progress. He's already doing much worse. He's already doing much worse than fucking Anna Waifu, which is amazing.
Years at this point, and bought up so many studios, they would have to have something to show by now. And of course, we already knew there would be a Starfield-specific showcase, so the normie Zoomer Bethesda fans, I'm sure, got super excited over that.
Okay, yeah, fun fact, he's pretty much about the same age as me, meaning that we're both fucking Zoomers. So I don't know what the fuck he's trying to go at here.
He's 20?
Yeah, he's like in his 20s. He's a Zoomer by definition.
Motherfucker looks like... I'm not gonna say that. Just continue playing the video.
Zoomer, I never heard of that. Like I know
Starfield footage, but we'll cover that last, as it was at the end of the show. Unfortunately, the show started off in one of the worst ways it possibly could, by giving us a CG-only trailer of the much-anticipated Fable reboot, sequel, whatever. Despite being announced years ago at this point, it clearly was in some kind of development hell, as they still have no gameplay to show us.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call him out on a lie with this one, because even though it's not immediately apparent, there was in fact gameplay that was shown, even though it wasn't nearly as much as like the cinematic shit that was shown off. There was in fact gameplay, it's just that the HUD was hidden because, well, that's how they usually show off gameplay within, well, showcases like this.
That and also, he's saying that, like, it takes it's been taking years since they announced that they're making this game. You fucking make a game, then, with this high quality of graphics. You fucking do it then, bitch. It takes years and years to make games with this level of graphics.
And especially when it comes to a game that is a part of, like, a series and whatnot, extra care needs to be taken in order to make sure that it still fits in with whatever the fuck was going on beforehand. And if it's a remake or anything along those lines, doubly so.
Yeah. I feel like he's the kind of person...
I guarantee you, when it came to the Black Mesa remake, that definitely took a decent handful of years, so that way it still felt fresh when it was released, but also still... Yeah, and it also still, went along with the storyline of the original Half-Life game, which is what Black Mesa is a remake of.
And this trailer looked fucking horrible. This female protagonist looks ugly as shit, genuinely has a man face.
Well, at least you were half right. But the thing is that first of all, the Fable series has just kind of been known to have like goofy-looking character faces. Like
But then
most of the time, they're
also-
not.
Like, she's not ugly.
She looks normal.
She looks pretty. Like, what do you
In my
mean?
opinion, she just looks average.
Like,
She looks like an average woman that you would see in like New York or something like that. Like she looks fine.
Like, she's pretty. Yeah.
Do you want to know the funny thing about this whole, oh, the main character in the new Fable game looks absolutely hideous? It's literally based off of 3 fucking frames within the showcase, where she just looks somewhat unflattering based off of like the angle or the lighting or the specific expression that's on her face.
Ew.
Throughout the rest of the actual like trailer or whatever it was that was shown off, she just looks normal. She looks fine. And the thing is that that's literally just the voice actress's face like
I know,
put
I feel
onto
so
the thing.
bad for like the voice actors. In a lot of these games, they will like take footage of like actually like recorded, because they will like act out the game, and then they will then,
Hang on,
like,
what was Fable made
make
by?
it CG, like make it more CGI.
For a second there, I thought it was like made by Valve or something like that. But like, even still, like it doesn't really matter. Like she looks normal. People like saying, "Oh my God, she looks like a fucking ogre." Like those kinds of people are literally just basing it off of 3 frames.
Like that, and also like fucking people simp over like Shrek in some shit, and it's like,
There are
what does
people
it
that simp
matter?
over fucking GLaDOS. So, who the hell cares?
I just see her as kind of like a bitch stepmom.
We're gonna move
heard-
on swiftly from that.
I heard the damn table smack.
We're gonna swiftly move on from that.
Wait, not like that. Wait,
Trailer
hold on.
is stuck with this nerdy guy. He has a man face. And most of the trailer is stuck
Go
with
fuck
this
yourself.
nerdy guy who I don't even remember where I've seen him before, some nerdy TV show or movie or something. I don't care. He plays the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. Yes, they took the Fable title literally. It is
Wow, so you're telling me that a series named Fable that has been literally known to take inspiration and aspects of well-known fables and turn them into games is taking a well-known fable and turning it into a game. Another point to the idiocy counter, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let's add on 2 points because we're just going to add a point whenever he adds a point to the woke counter.
now actually about fables. And now I'm actually glad I took the time to play Fable Anniversary a few months ago, so I now know this is not anything like Fable. This is clearly a complete reboot, Saints Row style.
Okay, so you just said that you fucking played a Fable game before you've seen this. You're getting an additional 2 points to the idiocy counter because if you are bitching this much about something that is already well known about the game series, you genuinely have no excuse.
Headache from this dude.
I warned you.
That doesn't appeal to fans of the original in any way, and how would we even know if it's a good game if we see no gameplay?
Okay, this could literally go in the opposite direction. How in the fuck would you know that this game is going to be objectively terrible when there's no gameplay shown? It can go both ways, as I have stated within previous videos before. What's that one clip that the other guys use since now I'm in their inner circle? I'm probably allowed to use it, right?
Probably.
Okay, they said I'm allowed to use it. Throw up that one clip. I don't know who it comes from, but it's a keep that same energy clip.
Keep that same energy.
Yeah, I figured.
So, truly a horrific trailer on multiple levels. Fable is dead again. The second game trailer was another CG one for South of Midnight, featuring
This
a
one looks
black
cool.
female protagonist.
Called it! Fucking called it! Fucking called it!
So did I, because guess what? I have in fact seen this section before, and I am in fact correct when I say that it goes up whenever a minority appears on screen for more than 5 seconds.
I want to
So
see
anyways.
what his issue with this is.
Well,
Let's add a couple to the idiocy counter because he is being racist.
Yeah, but trust me, you're about to get fucking whiplash from the next sentence. Get ready.
Oh boy.
At the very least, I can say the setting is appropriate. It seems to take place in a bayou.
So he's bitching about the fact that the main...
Huh? What? One moment. But I feel like they're the only ones that could protect me, so.
We're going to add on an additional point to the idiocy counter, because he's bitching about the fact that the main character is a black female protagonist, but then immediately turns around and says, oh, I guess it makes sense for the setting. So, is it a problem, or is it not? Please make that make sense!
That's really racist!
That too! So you're bitching about this and making a racist stereotype, while also stating that it shouldn't be a like I told you, this man would give literally, like, the smartest of men the hardest of whiplash. This man has less intelligence than a box of Tic Tacs.
Motherfucker got that abortion video. Sorry.
Yep, this video is indeed a full-on abortion. And that's probably gonna piss him off, considering that his fucking ideology, as we are starting to learn here.
Yeah, he probably is pro-life, too.
Yeah, if he comes across this video, he's probably probably erupting slurs towards us right now.
But I can't help but notice a pattern across all these various game trailers, showcases over the past couple years seem to have a running theme. The next trailer was a new Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, featuring a female protagonist. And
it's a Star Wars game that's following a different protagonist than any of the other Star Wars series. Again, how in the fuck is this a problem? I don't get it. It's a Star Wars game that's following a different protagonist. So the fuck what? I don't know if you heard anything of what I was just saying, but, like, this is a Star Wars game that's following a different protagonist. So the fuck what? It doesn't matter. It is clearly a Star Wars game that's just going from a different perspective, following a different storyline within the universe. I don't get how the fact that the character is a female is a problem in any way, shape, or fucking form.
Are you okay? She just tried to jump up, like, onto me while under my desk and banged her head so fucking hard on my desk.
Actual ferret mentality.
Anyway, we have an attack dog
63 version of Han Solo, and it's yet another CG trailer. Now, we do get to see gameplay for this during the Ubisoft Forward conference, which I'll cover later in this video, but I find it funny that the first three trailers have zero gameplay in them, very similar to Sony's. Then the Xbox presenter comes out, who, coincidentally I'm sure, is also a black woman and
this man trying his hardest to not put in a slur in the script. You can immediately tell just by his tone that he has an unusual level of ire towards the simple fact that this woman right here is who is just giving, like, you know, some words or giving a speech or whatever, is a black woman. Who the fuck actually cares? I literally do not care. I guarantee you most people's, like, mentality when she showed up was just kind of like, okay, we just want to see more trailers, whatever, just move on with it. I mean, give your words, but whatever. PR speak, you know, corporate speak or whatever, it doesn't matter who's giving it. Apparently this man's first thought was, ugh, black woman! Hello?
I'm trying to grab something. Man's just gonna lose his shit over this.
You know what? I'm gonna piss him off even further. Both of us are in the LGBT community. I have a boyfriend.
And I'm gay. I like women.
And tells us
Anyway.
how great Xbox fans are. All 5 of them, I guess.
You are the heart and soul of Xbox. Your passion
Okay,
drives
come on.
us,
This is
and
so
you are the
cringe.
inspiration for the visionaries whose
You are
Says
the
you.
heart and soul of
today.
Xbox. Please give us
From
money.
me?
I mean, seriously, do Xbox fanboys even still exist?
Well, to answer that question, yes, they do. They're very few and far between on YouTube, but on Twitter, I mean, you can find fanboys of literally fucking anything. There are people that apparently are fanboys of Bungie for some reason. They will be consumed by the rot first.
More like Game Pass subscribers. That's what they should be called at this point. It's the only thing the brand's got going for it left.
Okay, well, yeah, so, I don't know, probably I'm already adding on points to the idiocy counter as we're going on, even though I'm not mentioning it, but we're gonna add on yet another point, actually 2 points, because guess what? That's not the only thing that Xbox has going for it. Because first of all, Xbox has the most powerful, like, actual console on the market as of right now, okay? There's that one right out of the way. Second, they have the largest, like, stock of games for their console, second only to PC. And really, Xbox Live is really just the cherry on top.
Next up is the Persona 3 remake, and all I'm going to say is Persona 3 didn't need a remake. I played it all the way through and 4 a few years back, and they're great games. I don't care if they're PS2 games and have more chibi-like graphics. It didn't need a fucking remake.
I want you to keep all of the, his main criticism here is just that, oh, it didn't need a remake. I want you to keep this in mind, by the way. I want you to keep that in mind, because he's going to completely contradict himself a little bit later here. I don't know how much later, but it's going to happen.
Also, I found another pin that I think he would lose his shit over.
Nice.
I have a pin that is this one, and it says Practice Safe Hex on it.
Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious. I love that shit.
I feel like he's gonna lose his shit. I'm actually gonna
Moving on,
this one
the next game showed was Avowed, which is Obsidian's Skyrim clone. Now, if this was shown a decade ago, I might have actually been pretty excited for it, but Obsidian hasn't made a good game in probably close to 10 years. Outer Worlds was fucking horrible, some of the worst writing I've ever seen in an RPG, just blatant capitalism bad.
Meanwhile, this man probably talks up the Fallout series, which pretty much overall has the same message, although it's pretty much portrayed in an extremely satirized way.
This man confuses me so much.
And you gotta realize, Obsidian doesn't have almost any of the people working for it that were there when New Vegas was being developed.
Well, we're gonna add a point to the idiocy counter because he is very much wrong on that one. Some of the, in fact, a good majority of the writers that were still around.
They're still there.
Yeah, most, if not like all of the original writers that were still there during the days of Fallout New Vegas are still there at Obsidian to this day. I don't know why people follow this man.
It's so cocky. Like, how he talks is just, like, so cocky and full of himself. It's just, like,
Like, I mean, I know that I come across as, like, an abrasive, almost cocky-sounding piece of shit, but the thing is that...
You have morals, at least.
Yeah, I have morals, and I have one thing that, people like him and the people that follow him likely don't, and that is the ability to do fucking research.
That and also have a bitch. Sorry. Leo's not a bitch.
How am I more successful in getting bitches than this man when the bitch that I am with... God, that sounds so bad out of context.
Imagine if he just joins while we're saying this, and he just joins.
Leo.
The fuck you just called me bitch?
Leo, if you find this video, I mean that lightheartedly.
I mean it
We all
lovingly.
know
We
that
all
I'm
mean
the
it
bitch.
lovingly.
We all know that I'm the bitch here, but how am
Called
I more
himself a
successful?
bottom.
How am I more successful than this man at being in a relationship and getting bitches when the person I'm with is a dude? Explain that to me, man.
Okay, it happens to all these studios. They make some great games, and then years later, when all those people have retired or moved to another company or got promoted out of a real creative role, then their games go to shit. I've seen it happen a million times by now. There's no reason to think this game will be good. The next couple games weren't anything interesting, and then we get to the second Hellblade game again, and no, I'm not going to play it, and I'm not going to play the first either. I don't care how good the story is. It's obviously another cinematic movie game. I don't want to play any of these unless I absolutely have to.
Like,
I find this quote extremely funny, considering the fact that he considers the PlayStation Showcase the best out of all the showcases when they literally showed a movie trailer in it.
That, and also, like, it's fine if you don't like story games, but, like, you don't have to shit on every fucking game just because they have a strong story. Like,
Yeah,
I
exactly,
fucking
like...
love story games, dude.
Yeah,
love
sometimes I enjoy a good story game. One Shot, for example. I mean, that game isn't like it's definitely more of a story-oriented game. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's kind of more like a meta puzzle game more than anything, but it definitely follows like a story more than anything, like extremely action-packed more than anything. But I still absolutely love it because the story that we go through
It's
is
so
fucking
good.
fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there are in fact certain games that they just aren't my thing. Like, I guess, for example, like Rust isn't exactly my thing.
Yeah, me either. I
Destiny
never
2 is 100% not my fucking thing. I mean, it looks good. The only thing that's keeping me from playing it is the fact that Bungie just kind of sucks when it comes to their monetization of the game. Like, you literally have to pay extra money in order to literally play the content that you already
It's-
spent like $30 on.
It's a pay-to-play game, and it just, I mean, it looks fun if it didn't require you to rebuy the game every time something new comes out.
If you enjoy it, that's fine. I fucking hate movie games. You should know this by now. Then there's a trailer for yet another Fallout 76 expansion. I cannot believe people are still playing that game. Then we get a reveal for the new Capcom game, Path of the Goddess, with a clear Eastern-inspired aesthetic. I'll be honest, with what little gameplay was shown here, I wasn't really sold on it, but Capcom is pretty good with action games, so there's actually a pretty good chance this will end up being a good game. Then nothing interesting was shown for nearly 10 minutes, though I do find it hilarious that Blizzard wants to charge money for the co-op campaign that they promised before release of
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Fucking,
You know, this is a case in which
fucking Overwatch story mode is on Steam. Like, they made a whole fucking story mode game on Steam.
yeah, and I guarantee you very few people probably actually bought it.
Yeah. It's not even out yet.
But, like, here's the thing, okay? This is a case in which, like, a broken clock is usually correct, like, once a day. I can at least agree with him here that Blizzard and Overwatch 2, my fucking god.
Yeah.
Terrible. Fascinating that people, like,
I mean, I
are-
got into it a little bit before, because, I mean, like, that's, like, one of the games me and my friends would play. But the second they started, like, nerfing all of the fucking characters, it was kind of like, this just isn't fun anymore.
yeah.
Like, they'd nerf a lot of the tanks, so they're just DPS. And a lot of the DPS, they just, like, decrease their damage. And it's like, dude. Like,
Yeah.
like why?
Like, again,
that and they removed the whole purpose of fucking Overwatch 2. And they
Yeah.
just
mean,
made
again-
Overwatch 2, but it's Overwatch TOO.
Then a bit later, we get yet another trailer for the new Cyberpunk 2077 expansion, and if you're one of the 5 people who are hoping I'm still going to make that 3-hour-long Cyberpunk video, no, it wasn't that good. Trust me, you're not missing anything.
You know,
I
this
love-
could easily apply to most of his videos.
I love
That could apply to pretty much most, if not all, of his fucking content.
Yeah, like, I love all of his, or I love all, not his, I love all of the fucking, Cyberpunk 77 stuff.
Yeah, like,
I
Cyberpunk
love
2077... Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Say what you will about, like, Cyberpunk 2077's, release state. Definitely, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen, Cyberpunk 2077 appears to be kind of going through a similar redemption arc to No Man's Sky, which is very commendable, I will in fact
Bro,
say.
It's just going to be
He's
another, like,
messaging me.
bloated video essay style video you've seen 100 times by now. I will give you my extended thoughts on the game when I review this expansion, apparently, which is $30, so I hope it's an extensive expansion. And yes, I've also heard that they're going to once again overhaul the skill system and fix it again, which actually sounds pretty promising because the first fix did actually make some real improvements. Maybe the skill system will finally be good when this DLC releases. My major hope for the DLC is that it unlocks a real ending. An actually satisfying, well-developed one that feels earned, because in the base game, the Pan Am one is the only one that feels narratively satisfying, like V actually grows as a person, he finds a new family and lets go of the past, right? The other ones were kind of shitty, and yes, I realize Cyberpunk is supposed to have a bleak ending. Mike Pondsmith himself said that Cyberpunk is about saving yourself.
So he's bitching about the fact that the main endings of Cyberpunk, for the most part, are bleak when that's kind of the point. Throw up a few points onto the idiocy counter. My god, man.
But I'd say Edge Runners handled having a dark ending way better than the video game did. It wasn't even close. So honestly, I don't really have high hopes, especially since CDPR is now ESG compliant, so it's probably going to have some wokeness in it.
Okay, I have to look this up. What is ESG? What is the ESG? Environmental, social, corporate governance. How the fuck is this, like, woke? It just sounds like...
Maybe they're like, they support LGBT and that's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's probably like some sort of, like, thing.
Or he's being racist. Or ableist. Or...
Probably all of the above,
Yeah.
considering what I'm
considering
getting
who
from
we're
this.
talking
In fact,
about.
Sphere Hunter, the relatively popular Capcom shill Resident Evil reviewer, a trans woman also known as Sue Lightning, don't look that up on your work computer, is in the game. And
Okay, first of all, the game is Cyberpunk. The
Rue, you
Aesthetic.
sit down, man. I need a second.
Okay, while you're taking a break there, the aesthetic is Cyberpunk. The last kind of game that I would be bitching about the existence of a trans character in would be a game in which the theme is about body modification. But also, this isn't even about, like, the character that this person is playing as. This is just bitching about the fucking voice actor being... the voice actress, excuse me. The voice actress being trans. This isn't even about the fucking character. 5 points to the idiocy counter.
yes, I
No, I
realized
had
there
to
were
take a
YouTubers in
second.
the base game of Cyberpunk, famously Alana Pierce, a former IGN employee who has thousands of simps just because of her appearance, had her own fucking quest, and I'm guessing it's going to be the same with Sphere Hunter. So, yeah, CDPR is fucking dead. I look forward to reviewing this in the near future. Eventually, we get another kind of interesting game from the creators of Persona, Metaphor Fantasio, whatever. And like Persona, it combines the real world with fantasy elements, so this one is leaning much more heavily on the fantasy elements. It seems to have some other world, a fantasy world, that comes to the real world. It looks very over-the-top anime. Not really sure if I'm excited for it in any way, but it definitely looks interesting.
Okay, so that's a game that's apparently being released by the same people that created the Persona franchise, and also very likely the same people that are making that Persona remake. You're saying that this looks promising, but for some reason, back when they were showing off the remake, you were saying, oh, they're running out of ideas. Oh, fuck the creators of Persona. Screw them. They didn't need to make a remake. Oh, but this game that they're currently working on that's different from the Persona franchise, I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure about it.
Bro's fucking contradicting himself to hell.
That's why I told you to keep
Like-
that fucking quote of him, like, bitching about the fact that they were making a remake in mind.
After a couple more games not even worth mentioning, we get what appears to be a sequel to BioShock Infinite. In fact, I was convinced it was until they revealed the title at the end, featuring a black female protagonist. So I guess that's yet another game for the woke counter.
If it's coming from the same studio that created BioShock had a character creation system. This was just the character that they decided to go through with when it came to the showcase. You can make
Wait,
whatever the fuck kind of character that you want.
Oh my god, that's even more fucking infuriating.
Yeah.
He's just being blatantly fucking racist.
You know what? On second thought, fuck this. I don't need to spoon feed you anymore which parts of this showcase were quote-unquote woke, or whatever term you want to use.
Well, so far, from what I'm learning, supposedly the things that are woke are, the existence of women for more than 5 seconds, the existence of black people for more than 5 seconds, the fact that a voice actress is trans. So, what I'm basically learning is, anything that is woke is anything that includes a minority.
Left-wing propaganda or degeneracy, normalization of whatever it is they want to push, The Message, I'm sure is one you've heard many times.
I mean, whenever I hear people saying the message in quotes, usually I end up seeing that on like 4chan boards where they're talking about Jewish conspiracy theories. Oh boy.
So the woke counter's officially dead. I'm sure you got sick of hearing the stock ding noise anyway. Maybe one of these days
Yes.
I'll finally learn Adobe After Effects and do something remotely respectable in the video editing space.
Well, the first thing that you can do that would be respectful within any kind of video creation space is to
Stop.
just stop making content. Just step
stop.
away and touch some grass for once. Maybe go outside and talk to a woman or something. I don't know. Literally do something. Interact with a person for once. Because I guarantee you, this man has never seen another human being within the past 20 years.
He's 20, guys. That's why it's funny.
He hurts my fucking brain. And that's kind of where this overall segment kind of ends. He just goes on more of a rant that I really do not have the energy to really get into. And I guarantee you
over?
probably don't either.
Is it over?
It's pretty much over. Video, we're done with the video here. So what have we learned here today? Well, we've pretty much learned something that we've already known, and that is the fact that Synthetic Man is just human garbage. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. That's very well appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you thought about the video, what you want me to talk about next. And also subscribe to the channel in case you're new and you want to see more content such as this. In case you can't tell, I am fucking exhausted after this video. Whenever I cover people like this, it exhausts me because Eldritch Knowledge does a lot of shit to a motherfucker. That's all I have to tell you. But anyways, this has been Sandy.